let's just get to the main area. Let's just get into it, shall we? We'll get to the main drag. So yeah, this is World of Warcraft Death Knight Frost build. I don't think there's really much else to say about it. I'm not going to have as big as a opening as I did the previous runs. And plus, frankly, I don't have nearly as much memory remaining for footage and things because I am using that memory for Doom the Dark Ages. I gotta close my window. Something stinks outside. Okay, window closed, and if you hear a little bit of a humming in the background, that is my air filter, air purifier. Something stinks. I don't know if it's like wildfires, but I was thinking it was wildfires at first, but and then I got further away and I didn't smell it anymore, so I think something's just going on in the area that's making it smell stinky and burny. But I'm pretty sure it's not any wildfires. My cords are all tangled. Okay, here we go. Not sure if I'm going to do a video on this one. How does this cord keep getting all tangled up? I mean, there's really not much to say. I've seen a bunch of people say that no one watches these kind of highlight videos, but you know what? My hammer and board video got more views than any other video I've produced so far, so I can't say I entirely agree, but let's just get to it. Hey everyone, it's Dave, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Death Knight. Now, a whole lot frostier. Yeah, that's right. This is the Frost build Death Knight. Because you see, there's 3 different Death Knight specializations in World of Warcraft. There is Blood, there is Frost, and there is Plague, or something like Plague. I actually don't quite remember what the third one was. I think it was something like Plague. But the third tree was all based around undead and undeath abilities and doing bonus damage on your regular strikes. And Blood is more of a tank tree. I mean, it wasn't originally in Wrath of the Lich King, but it was all, well, very bloody. Basically boiled down to like regaining HP and finding ways to gain HP. And while Frost is, well, it is how it sounds. Lots and lots of frosty attacks. But there was a little bit more nuance to it. See, a lot of the Frost were, okay, so where a lot of Blood and Plague abilities were based around, you use an ability that sort of like targets someone. You might summon like your undead friend, but most of the abilities focused around you slash your sword and some magic effect goes up. Well, Frost does have a lot of that, but it was a little different. It actually had more spells. Now, I don't have any Frost spells here because honestly, the cost is surprisingly high to get a decent amount of Frost spells, and plus I don't want to get too far into Magi type thing. But there were still a fair number of like frosty abilities, like freezing the ground around the Death Knight or shooting like a short cone of cold air, stuff like this. And that is the sort of thing I've included in this build. So we got Zamor's Ice Storm, which totally works. For a Death Knight, we have Hoarfrost Stomp, of course, because that's definitely a Death Knight sort of thing to do. And we got Chilling Mist. Another very Death Knight-y thing to do. So we got our Frost stuff. It's still not everything the Death Knight can do. I don't have Death and Decay, that very wide AoE ability that's like a signature Death Knight ability, but there's no ability like that in Elden Ring. The closest thing I can come to is this one like Rain of Swords ability that does like a very wide range AoE that's just a little bit of damage, but unfortunately I can't use that one. There's nothing quite like the pull ability where you grab people and pull them towards you. So I haven't done everything, and this time I'm not going to try and do everything because it's just too much, too difficult, and frankly I couldn't switch between all my abilities anyway. But I do got the key ones, and I still made up some of it with pots. So let's see, I got some the Rancor pot, and just taking the place of Rancor abilities. I got some buffs this time. They're going to stand for Horn of Winter. I mean, I know the shout abilities probably cover more, like Braggart's Roar is a lot more like Horn of Winter. But I need those slots to use all these abilities and spells and, you know, Ashes of War, right? This time my help is limited, since the Frost Death Knight is not really known for their undead summoning abilities. Like, every Death Knight has some minor summoning abilities. So I am still gonna have my little bandit skeleton, my one lonely skeleton warrior. That's it. That's all I got this time for help. That's all a Frost Death Knight is really specialized in. Well, they're not specialized. That's the point. They can summon the undead or some version of it. Now, what every Death Knight can do is actually summon Army of the Dead, but there's really nothing like that in Elden Ring. This is my only real option. Hello, Melina. Come on, let's get you out. Yeah, we've seen this speech 100 times. But, you know, a single skeleton, though, is no comparison to, those putrid corpses things. They're no comparison. So I'm hardly giving myself any kind of boost by using the single skeleton over the putrid skeleton. So that makes up for it there. Because Army of the Dead is way more powerful than summoning one skeleton. So that cancels that part out. And in Elden Ring's case, the putrid corpses, while they're not very powerful, they are tanky as hell, and you know they attract the bosses. So yeah, this time around we're just rolling with the single bandit skeleton. What else do I got here? The other key aspect of Frost Death Knights, they have a lot of abilities centered around, well, aside from doing bonus frost damage, but attacking faster. That's their big thing. They have a higher attack rate. Now, unfortunately, there's nothing like that in Elden Ring. I'm not aware of any spell that increases your literal attack speed. But, you know, an attack speed increase is basically a damage increase, so that's covered by the buffs. So that's where my bonus damage is going to come from in that sense. I think Braggart's Roar would have worked better because, you know, I mean, it's not exactly a horn, but it is a roar, you know, sort of the same idea. But as I said earlier, I need the Spirit Ashes of War. I need the slots for all my fun toys. Alright, well, first we gotta make some adjustments here. Now, another key thing that a lot of people do, now, you don't have to do this with Death Knights. You can use a two-handed weapon if you want, but when playing Frost, a lot of people like to wield, let's see here, what is more useful? Well, again, at this point in the game, this doesn't really matter. But what a lot of people like to do when doing Frost is wield two weapons. And yes, this is my setup. Once again, we got the Blessed Dew Talisman to simulate the whole regenerating runic power thing, which is not a thing, and obviously I don't have regenerating runes, but oh well. This time for the armor, I decided to go with this. There is no blue tinged armor in the. Yes, I know there's Moore's armor, and yes, it's certainly like goofy looking, but it's way too heavy. I have to have like a ton of endurance just to wear the stupid armor. So I'm not going to be using that, and it's not like that kind of blue tinge. It's not like the Serenite armor of that nature. It's more of a baby blue color. Frankly, I think it would look worse than just picking similar armor that's not necessarily blue. Anyway, in my first tests in this game, this build is really something. 5,000 HP damage on one Zamor Ice Storm, and even in the DLC. Ooh, so this is gonna be. I mean, I hope it's gonna be something. I would like to actually beat some of these bosses on stream without help for a change. But as we all know, the way things start, it's never that exciting. These early bosses are never much of a challenge. Frankly, I would skip all of them if I had the time, but while I was prepping, I actually spent all my spare time prepping this time. So I wasn't able to get out of the earliers, and frankly, I got the whole weekend this time. No, I'm not going anywhere yet. No. No, later. Okay, we don't, these are leftover spells. They're not going to be any use. Let's get you to open the gate. Come on, go ahead. Yeah, open gate, open gate, open gate, open gate, open gate. Get opening. No, I'll use the main gate because I'm crazy. And because I need to be faster. Honestly, I should probably be skipping. Right, no, I can't skip the castle though because I need to kill 2 room bearers to open up the Telendal, and as I said, since this is very easy, and I'm only going after enemies of the Lich King, because that's the code for these guys, there's a lot of enemies I do not have to fight. More so than any of my previous runs. Okay. And honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to fight Consort Radahn anymore in these live streams, because I mean, you saw how it went last night. That was not very disappointing. I expected that one to beat Radahn because it was really powerful build, but I still couldn't beat him. And the funny thing is, I came back today before I was prepping for this run, and I just decided to give it a shot, and I beat him in 3 attempts. So I don't know what it is, if it's the combination of streaming so late at night, being at the end of the night, already being here for a few hours, me concentrating on trying to talk while fighting, or maybe even something like the streaming video at the same time maybe throws off the PS5 in some way, slows it down. I don't know. All I know is that I can't seem to beat him on stream. There's something about being on stream that I just can't seem to beat him without help. Off stream, in the middle of the day, you know, earlier in the day, no streaming interruptions, I could just focus and concentrate. I was able to beat him. And it wasn't that big a deal, so I don't know what magic differences. All I can think of is any combination of those factors. It's late, maybe I'm tired, maybe something about the streaming quality slows down the PS5, so it reduces those inputs just quickly enough. Dog is in my face. Let's freeze the dog. Ooh, and this guy. Wow. Anyway, so we'll see about Radahn, and plus, getting to Radahn at night is the thing that usually adds like the extra 30 or 40 minutes. So I can usually get streams done faster, but we'll see. Let's just say if I'm not confident in the build's quality, I am not going to go bother, or in this build's effectiveness, I'm not going to bother doing, like, killing myself to get to Consort Radahn before it gets too late. Because so far I've been able to beat everyone, or at least take everyone down. Every other boss I've been able to beat, or mostly beat, or get close to, or whatever, just fine. So it's just Radahn is the only one that's still giving me trouble on stream. Off stream, I can beat him. So, but you never know. This might be the one. I've certainly never done 5,000 HP damage in a single shot before like that. Fun fact. Ice damage is magic damage. Okay, not a fun fact. Everyone knows this. But it also applies to your regular damage attacks. So if you got cold weapons, it will actually increase the damage. So I have a couple I got the talismans that are like magic damage plus. I have the potion that's the flask is all done up for no. Use this. This is what I want you to do. Damn it. For some reason my guy got locked up in just using those regular attacks instead of just casting the spell. So that's 7,000, or you know, maybe it was the frost. Woo! This is. I mean, I've had some pretty. I know all my builds have been pretty limited, but this one is. Well, I mean, Wolverine did do a lot of damage really fast. I mean, I actually did Verdun afterwards with the two-handed, with the double blade. And I was thinking, well, okay, I couldn't beat Millennia that night, so I pulled out the stupid double blade just to prove that I could beat her, and it did. Well, I didn't beat her, but it got really close in a single attempt. So I was like, fine, I'm definitely better with the double blade. So I went up against Verdun. It did not do well. The thing with the big thing with the claws. The claw attacks are so fast that you can like roll around one of Verdun's attacks and then quickly do a quick roll slash, just a little quick attack after a roll, and it's so fast you can get it off and then keep rolling his next attacks. You can't do that with the double blade. The attack is so slow because he does like a little thing where you roll the double blade before attacking. Whereas with the claws, it's just a little quick swipe, like this. Sometimes 2 swipes. And so that little... I've always found with Verdun, it's like any little bit of damage you can sneak in, even if it's just like sneaking in an attack between his attacks, it adds up, and with the claws, this is why I was able to get him much lower, whereas with the double blade, I was not getting him that low at all. It's just too slow to sneak those attacks. I mean, it was still powerful, but yeah, the claws were powerful, but not powerful enough. However, there are some differences this time. I have more buffs going in. I mean, I hate using buffs. I hate systems or games that rely on buffs. I don't mind the one buff here or there, but this whole setup where you got to do like stack, like you've probably seen the meme where someone it's like a animated GIF of just someone like rotating through all the buffs in Elden Ring, while the boss just stands there and watches. And I'm like, well, now I know how that feels. It's just too many. I mean, yeah, okay, the buffs are really powerful and you can kill a boss really quickly, but I just don't like doing that. And plus, I mean, the point of the game is to fight the bosses, not to just buff up so powerful that you could one-shot all of them. I mean, it's nice to have the option when you just want them dead, but you know what I mean? I think that was the point of the whole system where you have a limit. There's only so many different types of buffs you can have, you know, body buffs and weapon buffs and all that. But clearly it's not enough to stop everything. And then, of course, there's always some broken spell or ability that just goes off anyway. Like in one-shot Radon or whatever, there's... Yeah, I don't care about that sort of thing. Although at this point, I've played through the game so often that I do definitely hit points where I just want to move on. I am on autopilot, frankly. I am just running in a direction, and I need your ovaries. No. To craft buffs. Some of those buffs I have need ovaries. Octopus ovaries. I know how that sounds. I don't know what to tell you. Look. Where is it? Blood boil? Octopus ovary. It's needed. Creepy, but you know what? I was gonna get a grace here, so I can come back and get the key here to get into the frozen lands. The frozen, well, I shouldn't call it frozen snowfield. That's Dark Souls 2. But I'm here now, so I should just get it now. Oh, you didn't die in one shot. Vow of the Indomitable. And then when I jump down from up here, that should take me to where I want to go anyway. I don't need to go to the Crab Shack, because this time I don't need to... Because I was getting low there with Wolverine, because I already used a bunch with Xena. Remember, the Wolverine run was just the Xena run, converted into hers, or into his run, and it was on +2. So it wasn't... So that Verdun wasn't just... you know, it wasn't just garden variety Verdun. He was a +2. He was quite the tough cookie. I'm curious to know how that build would do against regular Verdun, but, you know, I don't have regular Verdun available right now. Actually, I probably will never see him ever again. Because this is still +1 runs. Remember, these are +1 runs. It's not vanilla Elden Ring.
The coast, my beggar. You must keep. And if you should meet the.
Okay, enough rambling. Let's get on to something a little more significant. So next week, now you'll notice I've been doing these Death Knight builds every 2 weeks. Well, there's only one left. So that means I need to come up with something for next week, and you'll notice there's nothing on the schedule. I did have Pirate build, but I decided Pirate build was just not that exciting, as I explained in my last video, or in the last stream. You have a cutlass, you have a weapon in the offhand to simulate a pistol, and maybe throw some bombs. Again, not historically accurate, but even then it was like... I mean, I have a cutlass in one hand and a crossbow in the other hand. It's more like a challenge run than a... And I'll be in light armor again. I don't think it'll be a very solid... I mean, unless I got, like, the repeating crossbow or something along those lines. Now, that would make it a lot more interesting. And yes, again, not historically accurate, so it's technically legal. But, you know, the point of the Pirate was that you have that offhand, you have that pistol, it goes off once, slow reload, and that's essentially the crossbow, right? Not as powerful as the pistol. Where's Crab Shack? I may have passed Crab Shack. Well, you know, that's just fine. I'm really just on my way to grab the key, and I'm not going to be fighting Renala. I'm not going to be fighting Renala this run, because I don't need to. And it's usually just very dull anyway. So it's just too early, she'll be too easy. But I might need to respec later if something's not working. See, yes, these are like the early run. The first day is usually just easy mode against a lot of bosses, but it also gives me a good idea of like addressing like issues. Anyway, I got off topic. So Pirate build, pistol, cutlass, one-handed cutlass is basically just the curved sword, the scimitar. Low-level curved sword, wielded together. Two of them is actually really great, but I'm not going to be dual-wielding with the Pirate. I mean, I could, but then just be dual-wielding. I have a better idea, though, for dual-wielding swords. So, we'll get to that. That's the Ranger build. Classic Ranger. Summon lots of animals, bows, animal buffs, stuff like that. That sounds like it'll be more interesting. And there'll still be there'll even be a spear. I don't know. That sounds like it'll be more interesting. And it won't... I don't know how strong it'll be, but at least that's a more interesting build. But so the Pirate is one-handed cutlass, crossbow on the other hand, and maybe explosives. And don't forget, it'll be light armor, like very light armor. So like no poise. And we also saw how that one was Xena. I was essentially using one-hand sword with light armor. I was getting knocked around all over the place. And the Pirate would not have buffs and shouts like that, because they don't shout. I don't even know what kind of weapon ashes they would have. Maybe maybe just very basic stuff, kicks, maybe double slash or simple slash, like simple stuff. But I don't know. It doesn't sound like it'd be all that fun. I mean, it's a build idea. Maybe the crossbow. It's way more reliable, the land shots with the crossbow, than the Smith's Grip Cirque was. But again, I don't think it'd be right to use a repeating crossbow. I think a slow reloading one would be better, and I just don't see the damage. I don't know. I don't think it'll work too well. I mean, I could try it as a test somewhere, but I don't think it'll work. I have another idea for Pirate anyway. If I get to the point I plan to, then I have a much more fun idea for Pirate. So, that is a spinning log. It got really far. How did he get out here? What hit it? Okay then. That log really wanted it to be on camera. Eee! That lightning wants to be on camera. It wants me to get fried on camera. I've been fried plenty of times, thank you, on stream. So, another idea came from Pirate. And that is the Boom Boom build, or Bomberman as we'll call it. But I don't know, Nintendo these days is really litigious, so I don't know if I can say it's a Bomberman build. But it's a bomb build. And instead of... Because there was supposed to be like a pistol, and I was thinking, well, maybe I should use the cannon, but, you know, it's like a pistol. It's more of a firearm, but it's more of a cannon. But then I started thinking about it, and so, what if I just use explosives damage? And that's what came up with the idea for the Bomberman build. Just anything that explodes. So that sounds like fun. There's so many different items in the game that explode. There's 2 different cannon weapons, plus the shield cannon. There's the thrown bombs. There is the big mouth imp. There is lots of bomber options. So I think that'll be fun. But that is the idea. The other idea I have for next week is actually Night Rain. See, I got it. I picked it up. Although I don't know if I'll keep it. See, that's the thing. I want to say next weekend will be Night Rain, but I was given the impression that if you play it single player, you can play it offline. It's only if you group up with people that you have to deal with any network crap. And I checked this multiple times. Everyone always said you can play single player just fine. Offline, you can play single player offline. I asked and said this is fine. Single player is fine. But when I actually got the box, Night Rain, the actual package, it says on the box, 1 to 3 players. It says 1 to 3 players, or 1, 2, or 3 players network. Online PSN required. So I might not be able to play Night Rain next weekend. So I have to check. But as it stands right now, if I can play it, I will be playing it next weekend. Otherwise, Bomberman build sounds like fun. I will also be looking to add other ideas. I do have a whole bunch more builds in mind. I don't know if I'll be doing Ranger anytime soon, but I do have a few others. So, I mean, Ranger's up there, but it's not on my top of the list. Jedi build sounds like fun. Martial artist build sounds like fun. What else do I have on the docket? I'll have to look up my... Ooh, what's it called? Was it a Poison Bloom? Not the Poison Bloom build. Poison something. I have a build that's all set up to be... Oh, Killer Mushroom build. The Killer Mushroom build. Yes, it's another poison build, but it's going to be a little more interesting than just using poison slash every now and again. Oh, there's a lot of different options when it comes to poison. I don't know how it'll work together, but so I do have some future ideas in mind. And of course, if you guys can suggest any other build ideas, you can just let me know. The only trick is it can't just be something simple as like, oh, do a frost build, do a bleed build, do a kung fu build. No. It's got to be like a character from a movie or a game or something, or even a class. Even more fun is when it's like a class. Like, for example, Monk from Final Fantasy Tactics. I was thinking about that one, right? Because of Palm Blast. It kind of works like the Monk's Wave Punch ability. But there aren't enough abilities to do the whole monk thing. I mean, there also needs to be like they have like a slap, like an earth slash or something. I don't know. It's like it shoots in a long line. So I don't know if I can possibly. Ooh, let's see if I can knock him off. Can we knock him off? Can we knock him off? I mean, we knocked him off, but he didn't survive. So those are future possibilities. It's got to be something like that. It also has to be a little refined. I got to be able to actually do it in Elden Ring and do it simply. Like, technically, you can recreate a lot of different things from different games and movies if I had enough buttons and keys for every single possible ability or combination or something, but I do not. I have it controlled. And even if I did have a mouse and keyboard, the game still has its own little systems that keep you from using I bet there may be some kind of mod out there that allows you to bind like a spell for every key slot or every like number slot on the keyboard or something, right? But you know, I don't have any access to that. And even if I did, I still wouldn't use it. So because I don't want to have to think about all the spells anyway. So it's got to be something refined and fairly simple that I can replicate with just a few weapon ashes, a few ashes of war, a few summon spells, a few consumable items, stuff like that. And don't forget about reusable tools. I tried to do... Oh, and try and limit stuff like wizards, because wizards are... Unless it's something like Gandalf, which has a very, very specific build idea. Like, he doesn't just use any spell. He has a very small selection of spells, right? And that's swords. So that's something I can work with, but general wizard is just like, it's just any old wizard build. It says, oh, do this wizard from this game or movie. It says, yeah, but that's just like any old wizard build. So I'm not going to do it, because there's nothing unique about it. That's just me playing a wizard build. I haven't actually played a wizard build yet, believe it or not. But let's summon this Ben. I just want to get through this quickly. I mean, I doubt I'll need the help, but really I should be using the dual axes. But this is such a perfect spell. I can't quite remember if the Death Knight has a spell like that, but I'm pretty sure I remember something like that created like a swirl of mist. I think it was Purging Frost or something like that, but that would just freeze everyone around him. Ow, you hurt. Oh, he's down. Let's just finish him off. La la la. Your Magmite has been cooled. Wait, which way? What other things I've been thinking about? I tried thinking about a shaman, the World of Warcraft shaman, but there just isn't anything quite like it. It's not enough to just enchant the weapons. The weapons then have to have a unique spell effect that you can't really replicate in Elden Ring. Runes held, runes needed. Okay, I got enough. Lightning spells, they can't be from the sky. They need to be like shot out. You know, stuff like that. Nothing like totems. I know people say, "Oh, paladins certainly will work." I'm like, yeah, paladins will definitely work. World of Warcraft paladin will definitely work. But then a World of Warcraft paladin in Elden Ring is just any faith build, really, is what it is. And even, well, okay, you know what? Now that I think about it, it's not that simple, is it? Because World of Warcraft paladins don't have lightning bolt. They don't throw lightning bolts, so a lot of that offensive stuff is out the window. They do have a fair number of healing spells, buffs, shield buffs. Their real signature thing would be like holy damage on holy damage buffs, which are definitely a thing. Sacred Blade, and then like a holy damage field around the ground. You know what? Maybe I should take a closer look at it. That could actually work if once you start taking out all the offensive space stuff, then it might be within reason. I was looking at a World of Warcraft Hunter, But I don't. World of Warcraft Hunter just does not work because bows in Elden Ring just suck, which is too bad because they have a lot. The bows have a lot of like. There's a lot of like weapon ashes for bows that are in line with what you'd see hunters use in World of Warcraft. But another key point is the pet, the hunter's pet. Yes, I can summon pets in Elden Ring, but they need to stick around permanently, or else it's just not quite the same, is it? And there's no real trap-type spells in Elden Ring. Like, nothing that you just leave like a trap and it goes off. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I can't think I've seen anything yet that's basically just, you put this thing on the ground, it stays there until someone walks over it. So, no, that doesn't work. But anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. If anyone has any other ideas that work, then, let me know. Or throw them in the comment section of these videos. This is the thing that keeps me going right now for Elden Ring. At least for the next little while, or until I get sick of playing Elden Ring. I do play other games, don't forget, believe it or not. So let me know if you want to see me play other games. I have. Certainly with regards to Souls-likes, I own so many Souls-likes right now, and also on PC. so that might mean something to some people. And I haven't gotten around to playing pretty much any of them. I played through all of Dark Souls. I haven't finished my level 1 run in Dark Souls 3. Yes, I have completed a level 1 run through the entire franchise. Except Dark Souls 3, I got to... What's his name? I got to Midir and Nameless King, and I just couldn't beat them with well, I didn't really try that hard. I don't know, at that point I just sort of got burnt out on the whole thing. So unfortunately there would not be much to see in doing a streaming a level 1 run of... Did I beat Sister Fried? I think I did beat Fried. I don't know, there wouldn't be much to show. Then again, watching me die over a million gajillion times to Gale might amuse some people. Because that will likely be what will happen. So, but if that's what you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, I don't think I'll do that. And I've beaten Sekiro, but... In terms of a lot of other Souls-like Lies of P, which is on sale and fairly cheap, well, not that cheap. I'd much rather have a box version, but stuff like that, though, Lies of P, the new, what's it called? Lords of the Fallen? Is it Lords of the Fallen? Yeah, Lords of the Fallen, Steel Battalion, not Steel Battalion, Steel Rising? Something like that. I got a whole bunch of them I haven't played. So there's definitely options for Souls-like. And I have a huge back catalog going a real far, real long way. Honestly, the only PS5 games and newer games I've beaten are ones that I rented and didn't really like that much. And I just wanted to get finished quickly. So Indiana Jones, I finished. Not my favorite, not because I think it's a bad game, but because I just don't really like stealth games that much. I'm playing Dark Ages right now, Doom the Dark Ages. What else? Right, I just got Night Rain, but that's sort of a different class of game that I'd be playing. What else is there? I got a big backlog, just Oh, that's one thing I'm disappointed about with terms of PS5, and I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. A large amount of PS5 games I own are actually just remasters or PS4 games that run better on PS5. When I actually went and looked over my collection of PS5 games, I was surprised how few games are actually PS5 games. I mean, yes, they are released on PS5, but you know what I mean. Like, they were actually designed for this generation. Elden Ring, even though it runs so much better on PS5, did get a PS4 release. And even though people will say, oh, well, it doesn't count, it's not a PS5 game because it's actually just PS4. I'm like, yeah, but it runs like shit on the PS4, so... Whoa, what's that? What's that? What is that? Who did that? That was weird. It looked like he just kind of flew away. Oh, right, you guys gotta be attacked on the ground. Alright, what was I saying? Right, so I still don't really count Elden Ring as a PS5 game, even though it's fair to say it is, but it's not quite. I mean, like, real, true next-gen games. And honestly, I would say the first game I probably bought that can honestly be called an honest-to-God next-gen game was Black Myth Wukong. So there's another option.
Something else.
So I am a little disappointed with how many games I own that are true next-gen PS5 games. I think I only own like maybe 5. I have like 10, 12 PS5 games, but at this point they're all like... Well, okay, a few of them are just games I didn't want to buy on the PS5, like the Tactics Ogre remaster, Star Ocean 2, like these sort of games. They were just cheaper on the PS5. I'm going to say I'd rather have the PS4 versions, but quite simply, I was only able to get them cheap on PS5. PS4 versions either sold out or are not cheap for some reason. I need to give my voice a rest. I'm starting to feel... starting to get a little tired. What are they shooting at? Okay, now they're aiming at me, but I think they're shooting at something in the distance, and I don't know why. That skeleton man is barely doing anything. Which is fair. It's fair. Oh yeah, that's right. He can come back to life. Anyway, this was just a bump in the road. He's not meant to be a real focus of the run. This guy. So... But... I had forgotten for a minute there that you do need to kill Radon to get to the DLC, where a lot of the fun bosses are. So... let's get to that. And remember, this day one runs are really more about just getting to the more interesting stuff, because there's too many bosses to fight, and I don't fight all the Remembrance bosses. I don't need to. There's no point. Most of them are going to be too easy. So we want to get to the fun stuff quickly. So now we are going after Radon, because that's how I have to do it if I want to get to the DLC. Normally I don't show all this stuff, well, like I have done in the last few streams, but you'll notice in the most recent streams, or at least the two-nighter streams, I've been trying to skip a lot of this running around stuff. That did not kill him in one shot. Lucky you. I'm going to need to get more dex. I should really be focusing on powering up my other weapons, the two-handed, the two axes, the warped axes, because they're going to be where the real damage comes from. But I gotta say, this ice storm is really something. I should just not even worry about the ice storm, and I should just focus on having... Yeah, I know I'm here. I should be putting my points in well, I'm putting in dexterity because this is actually pretty powerful. The Zaymore Ice Storm, but what I should really be doing is I should just be putting my points in endurance so that I can have enough extra wait to just carry the sword and just switch to it. That'd be smarter. I should just do that. But I've been using the sword anyway, because even with the lower dexterity, because one of the things I'm happy about the warped axe is that they any infusion you put into them is just gonna make them like A rating for strength. I'm like, oh good, I only have to focus on strength. I don't have to put anything in dexterity for a change. That's fine by me. I was always thinking that this would be a dual wield build, because when people play Frost Death Knights in World of Warcraft, they make them dual wield with lighter weapons. And of course, I like to give them axes because it just feels like an axey class, the World of Warcraft Death Knight. But Xehanort Ice Storm, it's pretty powerful even without the high dexterity, this sword. So I didn't want to. I'm just going to be using it for the early part of the game. The AoE ability is really useful for farming. So I'm giving it its run. But I could easily gain at least 100 more points of damage with the sword if I make it more dexy. But all I really want is the Ice Storm ability. Okay, got this part out of the way. I will not kill the gargoyle because, well, A, he's just doing his job, and B, gargoyles are servants of the Lich King. Remember that? Servants of the Lich Kings do not die. I mean, if they are servants in his army, or of some, similar creature in Elden Ring, then I won't kill them. Like, Ricard is totally like something that would be a servant in his army. However, I have considered the possibility that they wouldn't be, and then they'd kill him anyway, so that they could later become servants to the Lich King. Although I'm still not fighting Ricard, because there's no point fighting Ricard. With this build, it's like, I'm not going to be using a build. You got to use the serpent. I mean, I know I could use this build to fight Ricard, but then I'm just standing there at his feet being burned by lava, hoping I kill him before the lava kills me, right? The aspects of this build just they don't shine through in that fight with Ricard, because it's designed so that you need to use the Serpent Hunter, right? So I generally prefer not to fight Ricard. Unless it's the kind of character like Agris. I fought him with Agris because she's the kind that, slays monsters and stuff. Fight for justice and, and all that thing. She'd be the kind of person who'd be like, oh, you're an affront to my religion or whatever, or you must die. So that was her thing. So she'd fight Ricard, but I get no benefit out of fighting him with this build, and it would be no fun. It'd just be another Serpent Hunter thing. And dragons, if they're alive, the Lich King would kill them just so I can have another dragon in his company. But I'm not going to just attack every dragon I see because there's too many. But don't worry, there'll be dragons to kill. There's at least 3 that I have to fight in the DLC. Well, I don't have to, but you know what I mean. Well, not in the DLC. Well, there's also the Dragon Lord one. Another saxophone player. They're all saxes. Something sax for the other dragon. I don't know all their names. They're just all something sax. All I remember is that they end in sax. They're all saxophone players. I do not need Millicent's prosthesis this time, because I'm not doing dex. Alright, no dex for this build. This is strength. That's why I went the Warp Blade. I'm so happy to see that I don't need to spread my points around because of that. So I'm like, oh, cool. Because these the Warped Axes are just purely strength, I can skip all the dexterity stuff. So sorry, Millie, you're going to have to... you're going to suffer this time. Actually, wait a second. If I killed her either way... well, whatever. Another. I'm not going to waste my time. Sorry. I was just going to kill you anyway. But I don't need dex. Not this time. And I'm not sure of the math completely. But I notice with the frost weapons... with the magic... with magic boosting items, I was getting as much as an additional 100 points of damage. While in the DLC it's 100. Here it's more like 50. Like here, I'll show you. Oh wait, no, I don't have one equipped. Okay, 700. Watch. Okay, it's like 32. But still. Hey! I was showing them something! You fart. Get in the way. Eat my horse farts. Yeah, enjoy. Ah! Keep your eyes on the road, kids! So I'm not sure necessarily if the bonus from magic damage is worth it. Now I do know that if you just go heavy and then have the frost spells, because I do plenty of frost damage with all these frost spells, so I probably don't need to go frost, and it certainly would save me points because I had to put a bunch of intelligence, which barely makes a difference on the damage. Really, it was like, I don't know, I had like plus 60, and without it, it was like plus 30. Versus the same when you have an S rank scaling in strength, it's way better to put the points of strength. But after that, after the buffs between mixed physics, all that, then the total damage from the ice and the magic stuff goes way above what I was getting from the S scaling. So I'm not sure entirely of the math, which is better to just go full strength and then use the just use the weapon ashes, the arts of war, to do the frost and do frost damage that way, or to just keep it with the cold infusions. That's just gonna have to be a thing we'll test, but it's easy to test. I can change whenever I want, so that's the nice thing. But it's not even gonna become an issue for a while yet. So for now, the great sword, because it's good enough. I'll tell you one thing though. 30 more points of dex, and this sword does like 100 points more damage per hit. But since I am trying to lean more towards magic, I know World of Warcraft Death Knights did not have intelligence. I mean, they had intelligence, that's what made them special from all the other undead in the Lich King's armory. But, they didn't have intelligence gear. That was the province, or the domain of mages. But what can I say? It's magic damage in Elden Ring is tied to intelligence. So there you go. But we'll just see how it goes. Who's singing? Who's got the choir voices? Where's the men's choir coming from? This castle has its own choir? I mean, good for them, but still. Yo.
The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh.
Not for long.
The festival.
I'll end this quickly. Probably before you guys even finish your drinks. Ah, there we go. I got a frosty. I got a frosty. Yar. Whee! Oh, I didn't avoid it. You just hit a random piece of debris, which apparently was enough to stop that flying purple bolt of death. Yay for random pieces of debris that can stop flying purple bolts of homing death. Speaking of homing death, did you see the new team up for Squirrel Girl and Marvel Rivals? Homing squirrels. She shoots a homing squirrel. I love it. A, because I use Squirrel Girl a lot, so I can see the value of that. It's going to be so useful. And B, because it's just so stupid. I mean, poor Tippy Toes, but still. That's going to be so awesome. They've also increased the speed of Nemora's projectiles, which I think is a crazy idea. He's already really powerful, so I don't know what they were thinking on that one. Yeah, you really want me to come closer to you? Yowza! I don't think I've ever done 5,000 HP damage in one shot with any of these builds before. Well, okay, not one shot, but you know, that's the damage the Ice Storm does. I should see what Chilling Mist does. I know it rapidly procs Frost, but doesn't it also do damage? Well, nothing's given me cause trying to find out. So, no gargoyles because they would be servants of the Lich King. No Estelle because I just don't like him. No, he would also likely be a servant of the Lich King. And there's a better version in the Forbidden Ice Fields anyway, so if I have to fight him, I'd rather just fight that one. And who else? Now, since the I would do the beast or the ancestor beast because they're the stand-ins. Those the horn people. Well, they're kind of like the Taurens, right? So they're the stand-in for the druids. So they would be an enemy. What the? Why is the door still open? I got two. Huh? Eh? Radon's Grapefruit. Huh? Godric? I got Godric's. Alright, well, I'll just run off to Round Table Hold then while I think about this one.
Very let my hand.
But something funny is going on here. Okay, I'll go in and say hi. 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 Hi, I don't like you. I don't care about you. You I like. I mean, but unfortunately I don't need you this time, so you're just gonna have to be alone. Hi. Hi. Blacksmith, yeah, like just go, hey, hello Blacksmith, I'll need you eventually at some point. I'm not gonna meet you now because I already took care of all that. I'm talking to you. This is what I wanted. Okay, now let's figure what's going on with this Great Rune thing. Godric's. Radon's. 2. You only need 2. I opened this up without Renala. I've done this without Renala. You guys have seen it. When I did Wolverine, I didn't go to Renala. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ha ha ha. The game has suddenly realized, oh yeah. Oh right, I guess I gotta go to the Round Table Hold first. Okay, that's probably it. Alright, so what are we going to do here? We definitely have to kill a couple guys to get through. Well, I guess Renala would be an enemy of the Lich King, since she'd be representing the mages. But I don't want to. She's too easy. I mean, I need to get her later anyway, but I would rather get further. I can kill her at the start of next stream. How about that? I do not want to fight the tree. Surprisingly tricky. I'm making really good time anyway. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get another chance to fight a tree, so I'll do you now. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, let's try this again. Ranker pot! Because Death Coil. That's it. I found the pots were much easier to produce. And apparently they can be pretty strong if done right. Oh, you again.
My utmost thanks for bringing here, and thus I shall farewell. I shall leave. I wish you luck. You have fought long, and I have no.
So we're making good time. If all goes well, I can get all the way up to the DLC tonight. I don't have to rush tonight because this series is 3 streams, so I don't have to do anything. I mean, I don't have to like force myself to do anything or rush or anything like that. So I can take my time. Well, not take my time, but you know, I can leave things to certain other days. But I'd still, for the first streams, I would like to set myself so I'm all ready for those other things. Honestly, I really do that sort of thing off stream, but I did not have time today to do that. Just setting this build up usually takes a good couple hours. Because I have to... I mean, before I put these builds together, I research exactly if it's... I first research to see if it's even possible. And then I write things down, and I look in my... I have my PS5 file. I look over all the gear and everything. And then once I just come up with all the gear and spells and whatever that I think will work, I then research to make sure I'm not missing anything, because I usually do. Usually with consumables, tools, like extra stuff that would fill in. So, and then there's always some armor that has a special effect that I wouldn't think about, stuff like that. It can take a while. I mean, I haven't memorized the whole spell list. There's a lot of spells in Elden Ring, you know. I haven't done any spellcasting builds, so I'm still not quite familiar yet with all my spell options. Honestly, builds like Wolverine are much easier. Actually, no, I shouldn't say Wolverine, because finding all the HP regeneration options were hard, or took a while. Xena was simple. But then again, in her simplicity, she ended up being weak. And another one bites the dust. But again, they're always easy early on in the game. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Go, 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 go. I don't want to fight them. Damn it. Oh. Okay. That was quick and easy. Just the way I like it. So, did anyone see the Jays sweep the Yankees in the last week? Or not last week. Sorry, I'm getting messed up again. Oh shit. Over the course of the week. That was fun. I mean, unless you're a Yankees fan, then I'm pretty sure it wasn't fun. And then again, everyone hates the Yankees if you're not a Yankees fan. Come on, stop being annoying. I need you dead. Oh, he got something. What the? My spell disappeared. You see that? It reduced the damage of the spell, and it like canceled. Interesting. Hehehehe, Zaymor's Ice Storm is fun. Yeah, I don't care what you have to say. So what am I missing Death Knight wise? Well, I mean, thankfully I have a horse, but there is no such thing as... I can't freeze my tracks. Right, so I can run on ice or on frozen lakes and things. But I do have my horse. I haven't needed to use any buffs, so I haven't had a chance to use Horn of Winter. There's no such thing as Runic Strike. Death Strike is not an option.
Hello again. Allow me. You are unable prevented the thorns. A husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide.
And I can't... There's no way to replicate Death and Decay. Ooh. Do I have another one? Alright, so we are going Endurance so that I can equip the sword at the same time. So I don't have to think about like trying to switch the weapons mid-fight or anything. I just have it on hand. I can switch to it, use Ice Storm, then switch back. So we are going to go Endurance. I need about 7 pounds. How's this? Medium load, heavy. But medium at 64. Well, that's okay. I should have time. That looks like he scratches his ass. I love that. At some angles, if you use that action, it'll look like they're scratching your ass. I guess even Death Knights have an inch on their bum every now and again, you know? Nothing wrong with that. Itches happen. Itches on your ass happen. It is a place that can get itchy. There's a fair bit of surface area there. Ooh, right, I gotta activate some runes. Because another big part of Death Knights is that they have like a lot of HP and a lot of like... Really, to perfectly replicate how a Death Knight would work in Elden Ring rules, I need to have just like a crap ton of strength and dex and HP and everything, really. They're pretty much superhuman. So the Great Runes are my best bet to try and replicate that, but I'll do that off stream. I am in no need of any of that stuff yet. You know, honestly, what I think would make these streams better, because right now, I mean, the whole idea of building these these builds based on characters and things are fun and all, but all really anyone's doing is just watching me run from boss to boss, which can't be too exciting. Now, if this were a randomizer, different story. I'd be forced to fight a lot of stuff in a randomizer. Now, not an option open to me yet, but maybe in the future, if things get going. No, I don't want to fight you. No, wait, I can do this. Ooh. Well, okay, that was a good idea. But it didn't kill him. Aw. I didn't want to kill the horse. You suck, but the horse... Actually, wait, I'm a Death Knight. Yes, I kill everyone. I'll just raise them again. Yay. Oh, wait, here's a Death Great Rune right here. I'm in the area. Might as well grab it. Ah, yes, the lone soldier, the lone guard. Is this a trap? You know, the first time I saw this, I knew it was a trap. I suspected. I wasn't fooled. I knew something was up. And really, just because, if you know the Dark Souls games, that's, I mean, well, it's also like D&D sense. I got really good at knowing when there's a trap coming around the corner, but combine that with Dark Souls sense, and just knowing how these games operate, it was pretty easy to see that there was a trap. However, at this point, I was like really high level, so these guys are nothing. And we're done. And I can't see where I'm going. That guy looks like he would be an ally of the Lich King. Gigantic skeleton on a throne. Yeah, you sound like you look like a friendly guy who would be friendly to our cause. If not, we'll just make you. Where's the elevator music? You need elevator music. Okay, I'll admit they got some fancy little star patterns on the walls to look at, which is not too bad. Ooh, fingers. You gonna pinch me? Oh, stupid me. I go to the bottom of the elevator first. Trigger the grace and then come here. And so now I don't have to run back. So you don't have to run back. So instead, I have to run back now. What happened to you? Were you the unlucky one of the bunch? Lost your head? Oh, no, wait, there's another one over there. Who's knocking all your heads off? Not like there's any signs of battle here. Not like the other bridge. Like a lot of the other bridges, they're all falling apart or disappeared. Oh, so you are alive. You were alive. Go faster. Drop faster. If you dropped any faster, I'd actually be falling. Yes, I know there's a gargoyle boss coming up, but again, servants of the Lich King. I know, I used one. Okay, it wasn't an actual gargoyle, it was one of those demi-humans, but they looked like the gargoyles in World of Warcraft, so that's why I used them. Didn't end up being much use anyway. For a guy that's flying and has a lot of ranged attacks, it was way too easy to knock him down. So yeah. That guy was not so great. That plague build was... I don't want to say it was bad. I mean, Poison Slash is actually surprisingly does a good bit of damage. Hey, you're going to force this, aren't you? Nope. Once I get up here, I am safe. Cutscene invincibility. Probably even better than opening door invincibility, because it means you're gone. Alright, I can add a rune now. Rune, where are you? Maximum HP is not so bad. Really not sure what else I could really use. And I know there are better runes available, but I just don't really... Oh. Actually, Radahn's rune can be interesting. But because of the way this build works, I don't really need a lot of stamina, and I don't really need a lot of FP because it regenerates. So really just a lot of HP is good enough for me. Anyone else thinks this bridge looks like teeth? I just think of teeth when I see this bridge. You better not hit me. Alright, I go this way. Boom. Nah, you miss. By the time you get another shot off, I will already be across. Haha, you hit the ground. I am beyond the teeth bridge. Will you hit me in the butt? Yeah, you just might have. Instead, you shot over there for some reason. What's over there? I don't care. Okay, let's see if I can do the skip. The last time I did this, I did it first time. And it'll save me from fighting Neil. Actually, this build will probably be just fine against Neil. Because Ice Storm is there's a lot of like area abilities. It can actually work really well, so I probably shouldn't have to think too much about doing this. But, you know, I'm going by, so let's just see how it works, if it works. Now it works. Got a good running jump. Wait a second. Go! Yeah, and as the camera shoots down, jump to left. That was too early. It actually needs to be right as the camera starts to, as it looks like you're going into the falling death animation. You jump to the left. Let's try one more. But since this build I think will do just fine against Neil, then I'm not going to kill myself over it this time. And again. Doesn't really matter how you line up, just so long as you're facing in this general direction. Wait a sec. Go at the end. Camera comes down, and as you go forward, jump. Oh! You're supposed to jump left, to the left. Or that formation on the left. For some reason, I jumped backwards. Otherwise, that would have worked if I'd actually gone to the left. I'm not going to do it again. I'm only doing this because the last time I did it, I was like, oh, I'm just going to give it a shot, and I did it first time. Normally I got to do this for a little while before it works, but that's okay. I imagine people want to see me fight Neil anyway. They want to see my hubris betray me. They'll be easy to defeat. You know, I got a whole bunch of aerial attack abilities. They'll be no problem. Dead, dead, dead. I'm sure some people get a laugh out of that. And honestly, it would take me longer. And the amount of times I need to do that, it would be faster just beat Neil. Oh, you tricky little deer, aren't you? Are you even there? You're just a spirit deer. You're probably not even real. You're not, we'll say not, material. You're just ethereal. Ethereal. Speaking of a bunch of ethereal stuff, this hill is covered in them. Ooh. I didn't realize there's so many of these scythe-wielding skeletons up here. This would be a much better place to farm those scythes. Scythe. It's scythe. Yes, one of my build ideas is a Reaper build. Using a scythe and all of the Black Flame spells. Because they're all death-like in nature, even though they're basically just cold fire. Although apparently the scythe doesn't have... there aren't many scythes, and I don't think there's too many of the Black Flame abilities that can be attached to them. I mean, there are the Ritual Spear and the sword that can do all that stuff, but I don't think... It doesn't look like there are too many abilities attached to the scythe, so... I mean, I'll have to double check that, but... If I can, that would make it work. But even if it doesn't, I'll have... I'll work something out. I'll see. Ow. Oh, shit. Move, 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 move. Yes, yes. Bring him back. I don't care. Just go. Whatever, I don't fight servants of the Lich King. Definitely a servant of the Lich King. Literally an undead bird. Besides, there's a more interesting one later on in the DLC. But I wouldn't fight that one anyway. I mean, unless I have a lot of time to spare. But as it stands right now, I still got a good hour I can put into this. Assuming my voice doesn't give out. My voice is really sore for some reason. Good kitty? Oh, the kitty's being good today. Kitty is being well behaved. So no kitty interference. Unless it's my kitty, then he'll definitely interfere. Skirt shot! Yeah, you don't want to look up that skirt. I guarantee you. Hey, we looked up Xena's. Actually, okay, Xena was different. I wasn't trying to look up hers, but, you know, when he's floating in midair from a gravity spell and literally just flailing in the camera, and I'm spinning the stupid camera to avoid looking up the skirt, and she just keeps spinning into it. I'm like, no! This is not an anime! I can't, but it kept happening. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't trying to do it. It just kept happening. Oh, you guys. Every time. God damn it. Well, like I said, it's faster to just respawn than it is to just fight them, so... Actually, no, this time if I would have gotten another one off, it would have killed... Ah, whatever. Don't care, I only had 1,000 runes. Now, I might want to actually have Hoarfrost stomp this time. That's why I have so few weapons on my list, so I can switch things quickly like that. Okay, we need something for them to fight. Freeze this. Oh, wait, it's not working. Oh, can you even be frosted? Oh yeah, he got frost too. He's a death knight too. Ooh, I can... no, I'm not going to get out of this by saying, oh, he's a death knight. Frost death knight. God damn it. I pressed the button to avoid. See, this is why I want to skip. He has the potential to be a bit of a pain. Fine, whatever. He's not supposed to be a problem. Honestly, I think it's better to... I forgot that you're better off actually not killing those stupid knights at the beginning, because he goes into the second phase faster when you kill them. It's better to... Actually, no, let me go... This might be the first time I'm going to switch to this. Whoop. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, those stupid things. I better get out of here. Actually kind of funny how we're both summoning at the same time. Here's my summons, here's your summons. Shit falls. Get out of there. Oh, they killed the damn skeleton. Phew! He's a bit of a pest. Before anyone mentions resetting Frost with fire attacks, Death Knights don't have fire attacks. But it is nice knowing that I don't need to use the Great Sword, the Zamor Sword, to do big damage. That was still plenty big damage. Also nice knowing that Chilling Mist, the attack goes off with a swipe. So he swings the sword, and that swing of the sword counts as a hit. So that makes it even more Death Knightable. Because that's how a lot of their spells go off. They go off by swinging their swords. But, see, this is one of the reasons why I did Frost Death Knight. And I was looking forward to it, because a lot of the abilities they have are more spell-like. They're not really sword slashes. I think they only really have one ability that's like a sword slash. Or is it? I don't even think so. They have Howling Blast, which is, there's no sword blast. It just goes off like a cone. Freezing Aura? No. The one where they burst, do a freezing burst? I'm definitely not fighting this dragon with a cold-based... With a cold-based specialization. No way. They'll never freeze him. This will be a nightmare fighting him. He's a pain in the ass, even normally. With a character that's built for Frost against the Frost Dragon? No. You can keep your... Well, you know, maybe I'll bring in the Blood... that's what the Blood Knights are for. Oh, great, another sniper crab. So yeah, Howling Blast, the one where they freeze things around them. You know, now I'm not so sure they actually have that many freezing spells abilities. Their actually next key ability goes in with Runic Strike to make him Rune Strike to make him more powerful. Whatever. I only have 3 anyway. One area, which is good. Hoarfrost Swords takes the place of Howling Blast. And then, what was the third one? My third one, Chilling Mist, is sort of on brand, basically. What about NPC? Well, if any NPC attacks me, I'll fight them, but I'd rather not. And I don't care about a lot of the secondary bosses. Like I said, enemies of the Lich King, otherwise I'm not going to really focus on it. If they're not in my path, I'm not going to bother. But again, if anyone doesn't like it, me doing it this way, you got to let me know. Say something in the comments or whatever. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume this is fine. Everything's fine as the world burns down around me. Ooh, did you just one-shot that crow? Cool, bro. Let's get these runes used so they don't get wasted on any attempts, any lost attempts. And for this, we are going to use these. I'm going to prioritize Chilling Mist, though. Get some fire going. Actually, we'll see how it goes without any extra defense. Ooh, right. Can't hurt. But since he moves around a lot, I'm not going to bother with Zabor. And the frost build-up will work regardless of where I hit him. And let's see how it goes. My toe! I got stubbed! I stubbed my toe on some crazy guy swinging his axes. It's fire versus frost, everyone. Song of Ice and Fire. except I'm a terrible singer. So you burn your farts, do you? I mean, I guess when you're that big and you got a whole bunch of little guys under you, it's a perfectly reasonable strategy. What the hell? Oh, come on. Yay for hubris. There's always at least one like that in any of these runs. Basically owning the guy. But no. Now I gotta waste time again. I'm making really damn good time so far. I might even be able to get to Moog into this DLC. Sorry, Torrent, you had to take all that. I'm honestly surprised this guy can even be affected by a little blast of frost. Like, he's a big guy. He's clearly not. He clearly is not affected by the cold that much. I mean, look where he lives. That said, he clearly has no trouble keeping himself warm. But like, I mean, he's not a frost giant, I guess. Must hide under giant balls. Which will save me from giant burning balls. Wait, what's the difference between the two? Okay, the other ones are literal burning balls. Again, the difference, that doesn't differentiate. The grammar's still correct. Because obviously this guy's balls have got to be burning hot. Stop making jokes and fight! Aw, son of a... Always one. There's always at least one. God damn it. Stupid, annoying giant jerk. Looks like I might need a little bit of fire, because even though I don't ever remember being hit by the attack before, clearly it's a bit of an issue. So we are going to... What do I need more of? I don't need mana as much. Just in case any more of that stupidity happens. Okay, well, he took every other hit just fine, but that one does not count for some reason. Or why does that one one-shot him? Get your dinner plate out of the way. Seriously, get rid of your dinner plate. Now that you're actually using it, it's giving a problem. Okay, why is he suddenly hitting me with everything? You guys just saw me do 2 attempts where he didn't even touch, well, not until the end, but before that he didn't do nothing. I was just sitting around on his feet, you know, having fun, hacking away, and now suddenly he's hitting me with everything. This is getting ridiculous. Why is he hitting me with everything now? Oh, you're... What the hell? This is getting stupid. He's not hard. Hey, what's this BS that's going on here? First I get 2 attempts where it's like barely even registering how quickly he's going down, and then he gets lucky on a couple blasts. Now I get an attempt where he's like suddenly hitting me with everything. Like, what the hell? Is there like a... Do I hit like a magic point at around 130 or something where suddenly they just decide, oh, you just need to die now. You're having it too easy. This is... It's like, what the hell is going on there? And this time I don't even have to just be... I don't have to complain and make excuses. You saw it. The first 2 attempts were nothing. It was going easy. I mean, I guess it was kind of... We kind of got an inkling of things going on. See, it didn't take out Torrent this time. The other time it one-shotted him. No. I didn't press that button. I wanted Skelly. Why did you... Where is... why can't I summon him? The summon sign's all the way back there? Finally, you little sucker. That should not have taken that long. I mean, you guys had video proof. The first two attempts were nothing. Easy breezy until they got a few cheap lucky hits in. And then suddenly it was like, what the hell? Suddenly he's a master fighter who's hitting me with every... You know, I shouldn't have to say anything else. That was just... I don't know what the hell was going on there. You guys have seen me beat him plenty of times. No problem. I don't know what the hell was going on that time. And it was certainly not the damage. The damage was great. I mean, even... it was fine. So, I don't know what that was about. That ate up... I was making good time until that. Now suddenly I am... approaching the end of the stream, and I haven't even touched any of the late game bosses. I haven't even made it to the... I'm going to have to do the Forbidden Snowfields tomorrow, I guess. So I guess for tonight, Well, I mean, normally for a second stream, I don't. I usually do these bosses for the second stream. But as it stands, well, let's see here. I can either do endgame bosses or Fair Missoula bosses. You know, the endgame bosses are all are all close together, so I'll do them.
Very well. Let my hand.
And they have a potential to be a real pain in the ass. Anyway, so Godfrey is in a straight melee scrum. He can be a real pest. So yeah, I think that's a good. That'll be good enough for tonight. Wait, can I even go back? Right, probably can't leave until I unlock a grace. Nope. Not messing with me. Oh, I didn't spend those rooms. I should have spent those rooms. Oh, crap. This time I killed them. See? Damage is not a problem. Okay, level. Get so I can use the sword at the same time. Now can I get out of here? Now I can get out of here. Wait, this is still here. Or it doesn't burn until after you beat Malakath. Right. Okay. Silly me. Okay, I guess the ending will be, this stream will be for tonight. Oh, Malakath is always a pain in the ass with any kind of melee build. Oof. Plus, I gotta do some running around to get to the bosses. That's one nice thing about the in-game bosses. They're all gathered in one nice little spot. But instead, I gotta do this. And then after that, so tomorrow would be like... the final bosses, Moog, Millennia, since I'd likely park myself right outside their boss rooms. DLC stuff. Or at least the ones I can get to quickly. Because I really hate going through the Abyssal Woods on stream. It's hard to say because when I first started doing these streams, the first bosses were like easily a whole stream in itself, and then the bosses in the second half of the game were easily another. You know what? I don't need to fight you guys. We're easily good enough for a second stream. But now I've done this enough times now that I've gotten pretty fast at getting through the first area. Then again, I'm also skipping a lot more than I was before. I don't even bother with Ricard anymore. I don't bother with Falling Star Beast or any of those guys. I mean, even Estelle has a variant in the ice fields. So I just fight that one when I want to fight Estelle. Ooh, these guys will be fun. The twins, Godskin duo, because I don't have a good partner to fight with this time. I am limited to just the skeleton bandit. Ooh, this could be interesting. Should I bother using double or... You know, I have a good chance of hitting them both with the great sword, so I think I'm gonna go with that. Right, I don't need this anymore. Where is that? Two-hand, which I should have removed, honestly, for the giant fight, but okay, whatever. That ship has sailed. And he's actually as big as a ship, coincidentally. Oh yeah. Don't dodge! Don't dodge my spells! Jeez, it damn near one-shot him! Ay, ay, ay. Oh, the skeleton's gone. Wow, this is going well. Well, that made up for it. That definitely made up for the loss on the giant. Okay, maybe it didn't make up for it that much. Usually it goes pretty fast, but still, I was expecting a little bit of resistance. Can I equip everything now? Not quite yet. Okay. You know, my idea is against bigger targets, the 2 axes would be better, but that's Ice Storm, man. The raw damage of it might be much better than like any of those other abilities. Hoarfrost Stomp, Chilling Mist, they all do their damage, but mostly just serves to deal the frost buildup. Whereas Ice Storm, it does its damage. It does the big damage. Oh, one got me. I know you're annoying, but I don't need you. There's a better version of you in the DLC. You should really kill, before crossing this bridge, it's smarter to actually kill that spellcaster over there so you don't get hit while you're on the bridge. Well, okay, it's not really a bridge, but that's exactly why you should kill him before going across so you don't get hit in the bum and knocked off. Oh good, he wasn't as close behind me as I thought he was. Thus my voice going up. Okay. Well, I was going to do Dragon God, but you know, I think I'm going to take care of Ryder first. Because he's right there. I wonder if I'll even get a chance to use the Ice Storm. I don't know, sometimes he stands around, sometimes he doesn't. Hey, it's only fair. How many times you've been blowing us away with lightning? Well, here's you're blowing away with ice. Whew! Close call. Why did I point? I mean, that was really stylish. Good timing on all that, but I didn't do that. I mean, good timing, Death Knight. But that, why am I glowing green? I mean, I love the green. It works. It's perfect. But I have no idea where that's coming from. Did I get a buff for, like, just pointing? I mean, I guess he deserves it because it was a well-timed pose. I don't know why he did it. I didn't press any buttons to do it, but... Okay, the green's gone. But, you know, the green works. It really works for him, so I don't know where that came from, but it works. Okay, well, let's... Well, anyway, that mystery will just have to wait. How much do I need here? 30,000. Okay, whose soul is worth 30,000? How about you, Fingers? 40. Oh, you got a worthwhile soul there, Fingers. So I got enough to equip everything now. Yes. Okay then, so Chilling Mist, Divine... Well, it really depends on the situation. Yeah, now I can just switch. Although, of course, I'm going to have to switch this out, depending on which weapon is best. The situation. Well, generally, though, I'm not going to be using two-hand swords. I mean, in the future, I expect to be using the dual axes, and I just switch to the greatsword when I want to. Maybe I should change this now. What? I'll just leave it. Nah. Hee. I poked your bum. And then ran away, because I didn't think you were worth the trouble. Lie down. I don't know how anyone could sleep in this. I mean, there's a literal cyclone going off about 50 feet away or so. Have you ever heard a tornado up close? Kind of hard to sleep. That whole thing about how they sound like a train engine going by rumbling, totally true. Absolutely 100% true. It sounds like a train. One sec, I need a drink of water before I do this. Okay, water drunk. Let's do... Oh, lightning. And we'll see if I can do without the lightning resistance. Which usually ends up being the death of me. Oh, I certainly can't hurt to have that. I really don't know what difference skeletons will make, but we have them. Well, this is not going well. Just like the giant, he's suddenly actually hitting me for a change. And oh yeah, I see we hit that part of the night where when I press the dodge button, it doesn't happen. Yes, it's that magical point in the night when the dodge button just stops working. Okay. Well, it looks like we're putting on lightning resistance. And the two-handed, the ice storm wasn't doing a lot of damage for some reason. So I'm gonna have to put something else there. What can go there? Oh, right. Of course. Silly me. Gotta save these stupid arcs for Radon. And Mesmer to a lesser extent. They're a waste on Millennia, honestly. Millennia is... The more I fight her, the more I realize, you know, it's not really about the damage with her. I mean, it's not about the damage you take. I mean, of course it's about the damage. More damage makes a big difference with Millennia. No, it's about just avoiding Waterfowl Dance. If you can... Once you get used to her, how to deal with her, it's just... It's not a big deal. You just gotta avoid... If you can consistently avoid Waterfowl Dance, you'll beat her roughly as quickly as you beat any other boss. Maybe 1 or 2 attempts. Maybe a few extra, but never much more than that. But with Waterfowl... If you can't avoid Waterfowl Dance, that will kill you. Radon is still the only bastard I still haven't worked out. I mean, I'm just leaving him to die out here, but... He can draw fire. Protect me, Skeleton Knight. Skeleton's already dead? Okay, there wasn't even any fire near me. That was stupid. Great. Now he's focused all on me. Yeah, sure. Just flat out didn't see him. Oh god, always... There's always one at the end, right? Why are these bosses suddenly acting... There's almost seems random at times. I mean, I've done these last few streams where for that first stage, the first phase, it's like so many streams now where he just stands there and lets me attack his butt, no problem. Now suddenly I got a version that's actually turning around. That was, goddamn, I was actually on pace to end this stream early. Well, not early, but you know, not at 2:30. Right, okay. Well, I do want to finish this early-ish, so I am going to go silent, as that seems to be a bit of a trick these days. Make sure I take him down so I don't have to think of, or concentrate on trying to say something. So apparently jumping over them does not work. I see. And don't know why that one would do that much damage when it never does any other time, but okay. This is pissing me off. I was just about to end the stream. The quick kill the dragons, but no. Game pain in the ass. I'm gonna use a two-handed sword next time. What the hell? Oh, what bullshit is this now? It's almost like I'm getting the impression that when frost doesn't work, it really doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I've had no trouble beating him in the previous nights. Well, except the one exception, but I think I remember there was a reason why for that. So I don't know why I'm suddenly getting the boss who actually knows how to attack. Like, I don't know. I mean, there have been many, many times I just sat there at the tail, attacking away, and I never have to deal with anything. But for some reason tonight, he's using all the perfect attacks to counter me. I don't know. Like most of the time, I get the dumb bosses that just stand there and attack it idly. And tonight, I'm suddenly get the versions like the Frost Fire Giant and this guy. I'm suddenly got the versions, the smarter versions, like they've learned from their fights. I can't spend all night fighting this guy. Especially when it should be finished by now. At least now I know where the green effect's coming from. I was hoping the spell would hit him while he was in the air. Not again. Oh god. Oh, that got too close. Well, some force out there decided to make this interesting. But, I mean, No. I usually don't have problems with him. And this, man, Zaymor's, what is it? Ice Storm is really strong. But I didn't use that first because I used it a couple times. It didn't seem to do a lot of damage, but I guess it just wasn't placed properly? I don't know. I mean, but... I don't need any more endurance. What is left? Intelligence, dexterity. Well, dexterity certainly helps, but... I don't think I need any more mind. I don't know. Oh, good, I got 2, so I can tell. 4. That's 5 points. That's like 8 points. That's great, but I don't intend to really use the great sword. And this is 2, 3 points. So definitely strength. That leaves Melikath. Alright, Doggy. However, we will be leaving Doggy to another day. Tomorrow night, specifically. So, anyway, let me stop this recording. Anyway, that'll be it for tonight. I mean, it's almost 2:30. It's late enough. And there's a lot of good bosses still left. I hope you'll join me tomorrow night. And I hope you enjoyed this stream. If you did, like and subscribe, all that stuff. You know how it works. Anyway, good night, guys.